On September 22, 2001, the 12th man stood for America. The scene at Kyle Field was a sight for every American to behold. Red on the top deck, white on the second, and blue on the first.
Understand that there has been a plane crash on the...
Oh my gosh, another plane has just hit another building.
I was in class, saw a ticker come across the screen that there had been, an incident at the Twin Towers.
2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center.
I remember listening to the radio in the background and, hearing about, airplane hitting the World Trade Center. And I was thinking, this has got to be one of those prank calls or prank shows. Once you heard about a second one, you knew something awful was going on.
Nobody knew, I think, enough of what had happened at that point to know really what we could do.
We're sitting around talking, and then the idea of, hey, someone posted this idea on Texas about doing different colors of attire at Kyle Field.
And at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I responded and was like, hey, this would be really cool. I'm down to help. I can't do it myself, but I'm happy to be a part. We're 5 students working with zero budget, hoping that we could kind of get a little bit of buy-in.
We started to set up tables out at Rudder Fountain or at Kyle Field. There was no online ordering system. There were people that were showing up. I want 2 red larges. I want 4 blue mediums. And then we just got to the point and the local t-shirt companies were saying, we're out.
It's hard to understand now that you couldn't just Amazon shirts overnight, right? And so we did have people who were willing to rent a U-Haul, go up, pick up shirts, bring them back down so that we would have appropriate supply for closer to game day.
It's like every time you'd have an order come in or, some bit of good news, there's just like that little extra energy that I think we all needed to keep going. Looking back, it's incredible to see what the A&M community rallied around and did. I think we wound up raising $235,000. We've individually received more credit than we deserve because there was dozens of people that stepped in and volunteered. Some we knew, some we didn't know.
Growing up as an Aggie my entire life, that's something that was like quintessential like Aggie, right? It didn't surprise me at all. It's just kind of what I had always known A&M people to be.
I don't think we really had a chance to process all that ahead of time, and then walking in was just, it was just awe-inspiring.
On the field, the Aggies won, beating Oklahoma State 21-7. But more important, in the stands, the 12th man showed this country could not be defeated.
It gave people the opportunity to do something when they felt like there was nothing that they could do.